Well, final day of pre-staking. Sorry we did not get a lot of footage the last couple days. The wind's been brutal. It's pretty bad today, but not as terrible. The trails are looking phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to this season. It's gonna be a good year. We're at our, I think, third stop on today. Just a culvert here, pretty typical for what I do. Up over the hill here, we got corn. And you come down here, and it doesn't look like much. Maybe it looks like something's walking through it. But then you get down in here, and you can just see that tunnel. Perfect 220 location. This is a really good spot here. Although you can't see it right here, but on the right side is corn. So this timber that runs up the side, we've got several locations where they're going to be crossing that timber, getting to the corn. But we're even on the bean side. We haven't even made it to the low bottom spot, which is generally your bread and butter. But right here underneath this tree, you can see it plain as day. Great 220 location right here in the bottom. But you can just see how worn out that is going up the far side. Across the road, we got a pole. Ain't even a few tracks in here yet. On the other side, we've got the pole. And you can actually got two very distinguished trails. One coming up right here, the other one going right underneath the fence here. Probably actually worth putting a dog proof on both. But we are running out of traps. I thought I would have plenty of gear, and that was my strength of the three things. Turns out it's not. I am out of traps by the end of today. So kind of sad I won't even get everything pre-staked, but we'll do what we can. It got cold again last night, so we had ice to deal with. But you can see where they walked through the ice last night and broke it. Mud path right down the middle, goes up the side into the corn. And you can tell we don't have a lot of room here between the fence and the culvert. I'd love to put two traps in here, but we just don't have the room. So one and done, but that's a good sign. They were crunching through the ice last night before it got thick. And just looking here, all it is tracks. Everything you can see. Should take a dog proof and just anchor it to that log in here. You can see this trail winding. This came in better than I thought it did. I was only planning on putting one here, but we're putting two, which is kind of ridiculous because I'm gonna run out of equipment, like I said, but I'm not gonna skimp on it. If I have to, I'll pull stuff that's dead and set adequately on the stuff that I haven't staked yet. But if the sign's there, I'd rather set good like I want to and not set stuff right away, if that makes sense, and then go back and set it right. I don't want to just start cutting my line down instead of two traps using one, skipping over decent spots just to find the best. Just my opinion on how I'm doing this. I don't know what we're gonna end up with, but all this equipment in my truck, that's all I got left, and I feel like these coons are kind of tormenting me a little bit. They're definitely here last night, but they only got 3 more nights. Sleep safe. Boy, has that trail ever developed. I know there's a culvert in there they're probably going in and climbing up and over. I had this marked as a 220 spot, but boy, it would be tough. It'd be really tough. We might have to just use the dog proofs, unless, yeah, where they're going into the tube right here, I can get a 220 for sure. So, man. And this is just one of those things that's kind of out here in the middle of nowhere, guys. You know, you got a little draw thing that comes up here and a waterway, but other than down there where we just were with the timber, there's nothing here. So they could actually be living in this culvert too. That could be a big part of it, but man, what a trail. Always scares me when I pull up in a ditch and jump deer out of it. You never expect it. There's more deer in there. There's 2 good does I saw over there going up through the field there. There's another one that went straight up. You guys have seen me here a lot. Just a beat down trail. This is a great late season timber to timber, several locations here. just big mature timber. This is one of the few spots I got where I can truly say I'll probably pick up 10 to a dozen coon on pretty easily throughout the year. It's actually a phenomenal 220 location this year. The grass is growing up perfect. We're about 300 yards from my house. I used to 220 it until the landowner came down here and just politely asked me not to. His wife has I think it's a Shih Tzu, and he said never leaves the yard, but just makes me nervous having body grips here. I'm like, absolutely no problem, we'll switch them to dog proofs. Not a problem at all. So that's what we do now, but this would be a phenomenal 220 location. You could realistically get probably 4 of them in here and really lay the smack down on them. You can see the trail goes right down the side of that barrier. Got a big drop off here into a pit, but you can actually watch this trail wind up through these trees and head up. Something that's kind of cool that I've never noticed before. We've actually got a second trail on the other side. Not nearly as dominant, but definitely worth throwing a 220 in. So we're gonna run out of traps sooner than I thought. We keep adding stuff, and then we cross the road from those 2 trails. And it's just, you're not gonna get much better than this. I could probably throw 2 more 220s on this side as well, but we'll go with 1. That was our plan anyway, so. But great spot. Blocked with 3 220s. Fully expect when we set this, which probably isn't going to be till day 3, day 4 season, we're going to have 2 or 3 coon here lined up for us. I've trapped this road for a lot of years. That's been corn, it's been beans, it's been CRP, but I've never seen a trail like this on it. There's actually never even been a trail here. It's always been shocking to me, because right on the other side of the road we got hay bales and a, you know, kind of a little storage place. But this is awesome. I want 220 it, but as you can tell, it's not really 220 worthy, if you ask me. It's so knocked down now. It's too open, which is fine. You know, we'll switch them out for some dog proofs and use those 220s down the road. It's just gonna be one of those years, fellas. Got really good expectations. I just feel really good about everything this year, other than my knees still bothering me from my fall yesterday. But as far as the populations and the trails, it's gonna be a banner year. This particular trail has definitely a sentimental value to it to me. It's probably only 7 or 8 years ago. This was location 1 on my trap line. This is where I started every year. I'd sit here ready to set on opening day at 7:40, you know, anticipating, stretching, getting ready to set at that point probably 100 locations, 150 locations. But it's right here where really that 1,000 coon dream in a season kind of unfolded. You know, for 2 or 3 years this was my stop 1, and I always preach about how you have to evolve and grow. And this year it is number 203, if you guys can see that. So we've definitely added some to the front of this, and so much more in between, but always a special trail for me to set every year. This is just crazy to me. Shows you how dry we really are. Normally the water level would be right up in there, kind of where that shelf is. Where I'm standing would probably be about 3 foot of water. So that's just crazy how dry it is everywhere in the state right now. But gonna pound in some dog proofs. You know, they're still traveling it. We got plenty of sign in here. You know, there's plenty of tracks running it. It's just kind of frustrating, you know. Not a lot of water, but we found a few good water locations that I definitely think have the opportunity to pick up a few muskrats or minks. So that's a plus, but most of our creeks look just like this. Location 207. I'll take a break for a second to go home, check on the wife and daughter. They're both homesick today, so checked on them, see how they're doing. One bad thing about it, just 30 minutes without using my left leg. My left knee is locking up hard. I don't know what I did to it yesterday, but it is hurting. But this trail has never been here, but they've never had crops in this field before either, and it just blew up. See it going down through, down, and wrapping right up through here, and then heading straight to that corn. Great spot for a pair of DPs since we're close to our house. Otherwise, this tunnel right here, actually, part of a deer jaw. Anyway, get these dog proofs in here, and we're gonna try to finish today strong, but boy, I'm struggling. Yeah, actually got a little ice on this creek. Beavers are still in here. A couple fresh twigs on there too. I don't know if they're trying to make a food cache or what, but they better get on it. We have already got ice. So this is actually the spot where I filmed the otters under that root ball system, and judging by all the bubbles around it, here there's otter or the beaver living in a den there. So shadows are getting long once again. We're on one of those pieces of property that's got several high and low points, with a cornfield across the road and timber behind it. We're gonna have all the way from up there on the very top of the ridge a good spot. That fence line's good. That low spot, this telephone pole, this low spot that we're on now. We just set one at that pole and the next low spot. So I don't know what that was, 7 or 8 locations in under a quarter mile. When this is corn, this is really good. This is one of those pieces where we're going to take, you know, hopefully 25-30 coon off just a little short section here in about 5 days, pull it, and then set more line.